Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and this is the HTC One. It's a pretty awesome phone. If you guys haven't already seen the reviews, I'll include my link to my review as the first link below the like button on this video. But on the back of this phone, there's a pretty interesting badge. It says Beats Audio. And it's actually become one of the selling points of this phone. It's actually one of the most important things about this phone, at least the speakers themselves are. So, without any further ado, this is Beats Audio explained. So to be honest, Beats Audio itself isn't actually the most technically difficult thing to explain in the world or the most difficult thing to understand, but there is so much misinformation already out there about Beats Audio, particularly because of word of mouth and Best Buy stores, which I'll be talking about in a second, that it kind of needs to be explained. Now, a lot of people already know about Beats by Dre headphones. Those are a pretty much separate entity, but Beats has partnered with HTC and HP to create devices like HP laptops and HTC phones that have Beats Audio built into them. What exactly does that mean? Well, besides all the marketing BS about how it's supposed to be the exact representation of what the artist wants you to hear in terms of sound quality, this is the most technical video that we could find, that you can find anywhere on the internet, of what exactly Beats Audio is in a smartphone or a laptop.
Let's review. HP re-engineered the headphone jack with no metal parts to reduce ground noise. The discrete headphone amp improves stereo separation and is more powerful than MP3 players and other notebook computers. The dedicated audio island isolates the audio components on the circuit board, minimizing digital interference. Pressing Function B on an HP notebook with Beats Audio will deliver music to your ears via the headphones or speakers. Exclusive to HP notebooks, these machines have been redesigned from the outside in to deliver the ultimate notebook audio experience with Beats Audio.
So the first ones on that list are overall nice touches. They're actually pretty decent things to have when you're talking about audio, especially a dedicated amp to drive higher powered headphones and for better stereo separation, etc. That's pretty decent. But it's really all about that last point. When you consider Beats Audio and the difference it makes versus other devices that don't have Beats Audio, it's all about the Beats Audio profile, which is basically an equalizer. To understand Beats Audio, you have to understand what an equalizer is. So an equalizer, basically, human hearing can already hear between about 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. Those are the frequencies of vibrations that we can pick up with our ears. 20 hertz being the lowest of the low basses and 20,000 hertz being the highest of the highs. And an equalizer, when you apply it to any sort of form of audio, can sort of enhance certain portions of that audio to make it stand out more from the others. So if I boost the audio at 15,000 hertz, you're going to hear that portion stand out a lot more than the other notes that aren't in that frequency. So devices with Beats Audio built in actually have two audio profiles or two equalizers built in. One with Beats Audio on and one with Beats Audio off. The one with Beats Audio on has a very exaggerated tones on basically the low and the high end. It exaggerates the more interesting bass and high sections and kind of ignores the less interesting mids. And the Beats Audio off profile is actually a bit of the opposite. It's not completely flat, it's actually sort of under-exaggerating those interesting profiles. So it's under-exaggerating the bass and under-exaggerating the highs and leaving the not-so-interesting mids to stand out. So when you turn Beats Audio on, you exaggerate the bass and the highs, and when you turn Beats Audio off, you under-exaggerate the bass and the highs, which creates a pretty big difference between on and off. So when you flick that Beats Audio on switch on your device that happen to have Beats Audio built in, you hear a pretty big difference in sound, and this is often what tricks people into believing that things with Beats Audio built in are significantly better than what doesn't have Beats Audio. Imagine this. Imagine you're at a Best Buy and there are two laptops sitting next to each other. One silver one without Beats Audio, and one black one with Beats Audio built in and comes with a pair of Beats by Dre headphones and costs $500 extra. The person who wants to sell you the laptop is going to bring you to the one with Beats Audio and is going to tell you, hey, listen to this track with Beats Audio turned off. You're going to listen to it. It's going to sound a little bit dull because of that weakened profile. And then he's going to turn Beats Audio on and you're going to get that strengthened profile and you're going to be blown away because that laptop with Beats Audio turned on sounds great. You didn't even have to touch the laptop in the silver section. You're already convinced it's going to sound bad because it doesn't have Beats Audio. That's how they get you. That's how they sell you on buying a laptop that does have Beats Audio built in. you didn't even have to listen to the one that sounds just fine over there because you're convinced it sounds weak, like the weak section profile in the Beats Audio laptop. So yeah, when it comes down to it, Beats Audio is less about the physical differences inside of the phone, less about that amplifier, and more about that equalizer. And most people don't realize it, but there are a lot of equalizers in between the studio making the sound and your actual ears. Your headphones, for example, have their own equalizer. Very few pairs of headphones are perfectly flat and accurate. Most of them are going to exaggerate some sounds here or there, and that's where you get another form of an equalizer. Beats by Dre headphones themselves have a slightly uneven frequency response. If you look at the frequency response chart for a pair of Beats by Dre headphones, you'll see that they respond much more powerfully to lower basses and higher highs, and they don't really emphasize the mids as much. So when you combine, you know, very, very bass-heavy headphones with very, very bass-heavy amplifier, you're gonna get a really bass-heavy sound, and that's what's gonna impress people and make them think that things with Beats Audio sound great. I actually was listening to my ATH M50s with the Beats Audio turned off on the HTC One, and it sounded pretty good. But again, that's with the headphone jack built in. I think the speakers on the front sound phenomenal when you have Beats Audio turned on or off. It's just about the clarity and the volume that you get that changes. But it definitely depends on the device you're looking at. Definitely be wary of people trying to sell you stuff because it has Beats Audio. Just have a listen to other stuff around you first and decide if it makes enough of a difference for you. So the overall message of this video is don't get tricked into buying something just because it has Beats Audio built in. Everyone's got an EQ. Figure out yours. Either way, that's been it. Thanks for watching this video. I'll leave a video response right below of one of my previous videos where I compare a pair of Beats by Dre headphones that cost hundreds of dollars more than a pair of Audio-Technica headphones, and the results may be really impressive to you. So that'll be linked below the like button or as a video response or whatever I happen to do below. But either way, like I said, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.